All right, class. Hey, let's go for the bell ringer. Here, you'll actually identify the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So remember, the x-intercept is where the line touches or crosses the x-axis. So here is my x-intercept, and I want the point as a coordinate. And the y-intercept, uh, let me use a different color. I guess I'll use C red too. So that's my y-intercept right there. So for the x-intercept, the line crosses the x-axis at -4. So x comma y. So you know the x value is going to be -4 because that's where the line touches the x-axis at. So that's -4. And the y value, now if you look at it, look at the y-axis. This is my y-axis right here. The y value for this point is 0. All right, that's 0 right there. The y value, it is 0. So that is -4 comma 0. All right. And then for the y-intercept, okay, let's go again. Do the x comma y, x comma y. For this point right here, the x value is 0. Why? If I go down to the x-axis, what do I get? 0. So that is 0 right there. And the y value is 2 because that's where the line crosses the y-axis at 2. Okay, so 0 comma 2. And so, you can follow the format. If the point is on the y-axis, the form is going to be 0 comma y. Okay, where y is my 2. Okay, and if it's on the x-axis, right, it's going to be x comma 0, where x is my x value. All right, so that's the x and y intercept. All right, today's lesson is we're going to find the slope from a graph or table. And this you all have done in 8th grade, so it's not the first time you've seen this. So when we find the slope, right, we use m for the variable. M is the variable for slope. And when we find this slope line, we use the equation m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right. Now, when we find the slope of a line, all right, we're going to need 2 points. 2 points, either from the graph or from the table. From the graph, you pick what I call pretty points. That's where the line crosses the hash mark. Like this is a pretty point right here. The line crosses the hash mark. This is also a pretty point. Okay. Another one would be probably right here. The line crosses the hash mark. So you want to use those points. If it's a table, just pick 2 points. It doesn't matter. Just pick the first and last one, or you can pick the second and third one. It doesn't matter. Just get 2 points. So you pick 2 points, and then you write the formula, the equation. I put a formula right here. So you're going to write the formula, and then you're going to decide of those 2 points you pick, which one is going to be your x1. You got to identify them. Which one is going to be your x1, y1, and which one is going to be your x2, y2. All right. And then once you have done that, you just substitute the points into the formula. Substitute the points into the formula, and then solve for m. All right. Solve for m. All right. So let's look at some examples here. Okay, let me erase this. I thought I did that. All right. Is there anything else needs to be erased? Okay, I did that. Okay, so let's look at the first one here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, 125. So I have a graph. I want to find the slope where the formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right. So I'm gonna pick 2 points. Let's see. I'm gonna pick this one right here. That's where the line crosses the y-axis. That's the y-intercept right there. That's a good pretty point. And then I'm gonna pick this one here because the line again crosses the hash mark. So my first point is 0, 3, and my second point is 5, 5. Now I'm going to identify which one is my x1, y1, and which one is my x2, y2. So here we go. So this is my first point. So I'm going to make this my x1, and the 3 is my y. It's going to be y1, and then so forth. Therefore, this is going to be my x2, and this is my y2. All right, because the 5 is this. This one is my x, and that's my y. So now I have my x1, y1, and x2, y2 identified. My next step now is to substitute those numbers into the equation. So that's going to give me now m is going to equal to my y2. My y2 from here is going to be 5 right here, minus my y1 is 3. And that's divided by my x2, again, this one is 5, minus my x1 is 0. 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 minus 0 is 5. And so my slope is 2/5. Okay? All right. Let's try this one on the right. I'm going to go ahead and erase this so I have some more space. All right? So let me erase this part right here, and this gets some more space. So on this graph now, again, pick 2 points. I'm going to pick, let's see. Okay, this is a good one. The y-intercept, that's a good one. And the x-intercept is also a good one. All right. And so let's go with 4. For the y-intercept, it is 0, 4. So 0, 4 is my first point. All right. And the other point is the x-intercept. That's going to be -2, comma 0. All right. So let's go ahead and identify now my x1, y1. So this is my x. So that's gonna be my x1. That's my y. So that's gonna be my y1. And for the other point, this is gonna be my x2, and that's my y2. Okay. So let's go ahead and plug those numbers into the equation. So we have m is equal to, well, y2 minus y1. My y2 is 0, minus my y1 is 4, minus 4. And that's divided by my x2 is -2, minus my x1 is 0. 0 minus 4 is -4. If you're not sure to do this, the arithmetic, use a calculator. 0 minus 4 is -4, and -2 minus 0 is -2, and that will give me a +2. All right. So the slope here is 2. All right, so let's move on to this one. Okay, let's look at this one on an example. Let's pick 2 good points. Let's pick the y-intercept right there. And we could also go with, um, this is a good one too. I could use this one right here. Looks like a good one. All right. So my first point is going to be the y-intercept, which is 0, 3. Okay, good. This is 2. This is 3 right here. All right, so 0, 3 is my first point. 0, comma 3 is my first point. And then the next one is, let's see. So this is 1. This is 1. This is 0.5. All right, so it's going to be 0.5. I go up 2. So 0.5, comma 2. All right. And so that's my x1, that's my y1, that's my x2, that's my y2. All right. So we know m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's go and plug in the values now. My y2 is 2, minus my y1 is 3. My x2 is 0.5, minus my x1 is 0. 2 minus 3 is -1 over 0.5. And if you divide that, that should give you 2. negative 2, all right? If you use a calculator, negative 1 divided by zero point 0.5 is negative 2. All right, okay, table now. It's the same process as if you actually find a slope from a table. It's the same process as using the graph. Here on a graph, you have to go and get the points. Here they're giving you the points. All you gotta do is pick two. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna pick, let's pick 2 points. It doesn't matter. Let's go with that one and this one. Okay. So I'm gonna have -3. Let me use a different color. I'm gonna have -3 comma 16 as 1 point, my first point, and -7 comma 22 as my second point. All right. So remember the next step now is identify your x1, y1. Okay. So this could be my x1. That's my y1. xy. This is my x and y again. So but it's gonna be my x2 and my y2. And then let's get the formula now. The formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you notice now, we're back to where we started on the graph. All right, same process now. We're just going to plug the numbers into the equation. All right, and so if we do that, that's going to give me my y2 is 22. So it's 22 minus my y1 is 16 over my x2 is -7 minus my x1 is -3. So this is going to give me a positive right here. Negative and negative is going to be a positive. So I'm going to get now 22 minus 16 is 6. And that is over -7 plus 3. And if you simplify that, that's going to give you, let me put an equal sign, 6 over, if you add these two, -7 plus 3, that gives you -4. And if you simplify that further, that gives you 3 over -2. Okay? I'm going to leave this one. You can try on your own by yourself. Same process. All right? And I think that's the end of it. All right? All right, guys. So that's it right there. Finding the slope from a table and graph. All right?